Hi there guys, and welcome to another Fusion 360 tutorial. And today I'm going to be taking a look at one of the tools for creating threads. So first of all, let's create an object. So we're going to make a basic bolt. So we'll start off by drawing its profile. So it's 2.5 millimeters wide. Now this is going to be a fully constrained sketch, which means that we'll be able to easily make adjustments to it as needed. You'll see what I mean shortly. So there we go. And this should change line up there. We'll put it an extra line. There we go. Okay, so that is our basic outline. Let's finish sketch. Now we'll spin this around an axis to make it into a bolt shape. So we're going to create a new body. Our axis will be there. There we go. Okay. So obviously we could do more work to this to make it look more like a real screw. For example, you could countersink it. We can put the hole in top for the posi drive and so on. But basically, there's our shape. We are focusing in this tutorial on creating threads rather than the kind of intricacies of the modeling. So we'll skip over everything else and just go straight to the threads. So now we're going to go to create a thread, and there's two different options you can use here. So you see you have modeled and not. So if I select this, and it'll automatically detect our size. So obviously when we drew this, it was 2.5 millimeters. We span it around, so that made it a 5 millimeter diameter. So basically this is an M5 classification of thread. If we're going with ISO isometric profiles, they have lots of other different types of threads. So you could go, example, for a DIN thread. All different types of threads available, but we'll stick with the ISO metric profile, which gives us an M5. You can choose if it's a right hand or left hand turn, and so on. Now, is a useful thing is to remember the size. So if you're going to be reusing this bolt size multiple times in the same drawing, so you don't have to remember all of the parameters, you can just remember size, and next time you apply this to another object, this is what it will default to. Obviously, you can still change it. Now, if we do that, you'll see that we see a thread, but this is actually just drawn on, kind of with a bump map. So it designates as a thread there, and it looks okay, but it's not really a thread. Now, if you were to 3D print this, you wouldn't get a thread at all. So if you need to 3D print and actually get a thread, then you need to obviously choose the modeled option. So if we change that to modeled, you'll now see that what we actually get is a properly modeled thread. The object actually has the thread on it, and we could actually 3D print this and make use of it. Now, what we can do then, if you have something that you want to screw it into, let's create a new body. So we'll turn this into our bolt and create a component from it. Now we'll create a body that we're going to screw this into. Okay, so make a sketch. So our bolt will screw into that. We'll extrude this in 2 directions. 20. Now we'll hide our bolt so we don't cut it. And then now we've got a new body, and we'll call this the block. Okay, and we'll create a component from that. So now we have our block and our bolt. Now I want to be able to screw this bolt into that block. So a few ways you can do this. One would be to combine the two objects. So our target body would be the block, our tool body is the bolt. We'll keep the tool, and the operation will be to cut. Now when we do that, we've cut that thread into the block. Now you can screw that thread into there. So that's one way of doing it. Another way would be to actually draw the threads. So what we would do would be to, let's say, create a new sketch. I will project this onto there so I can get a center point. So I forgot how to do project. Project include, there we go. Project this onto the drawing there. Okay, now we can hide our bolt. And I know it's 5mm diameter, so I'll take that center point, make that 5mm. Finish sketch. I'll extrude this, and we will go all the way through the body almost. So let's go down to there. So that would be -10, so we'll make it -8. Okay, and then we'll add a thread to this. So again, we go to our thread tool, and it's going to auto detect. Select it. We want this to be modeled. It's 5mm, right hand thread. And there we go. So those are the two ways that we could do it. So now obviously our bolt would screw into that. If we were to 3D print these, it would be a tight fit. You probably want to add some tolerance for your accuracy of your 3D printer. But basically that is how you would model a thread in Fusion 360, an actual working thread that you could really 3D print and actually use. So I hope this was useful for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you did find the video useful, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below if you have any questions. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.